Brothers, here are 7 habits that transformed my life. 7 habits that took me from being lost, broke, confused, sad, depressed, empty, unfulfilled, to transforming my life to the point now where not only do I have everything I wanted externally, materialistically, but I love myself, bro. And that's what every man truly wants. They want to love themselves. They want to feel good about themselves. They want to feel proud. They want to feel respect. They want to feel powerful. They want to have status, which is all linked back to love, my bro. Before we get into this video, I want to say a prayer for you, brothers. It's funny how as I say that, the wind picks up, right? Heavenly Father, I pray every single brother watching this video right now is blessed by you, is guided by you. I pray that every single brother watching this video seeks you more and more. They enter into the unseen, they enter into silence, they enter into prayer with you to seek these answers that they're trying to find outside of them. I pray that you show them the steps they need to take to bring them closer to their vision, their dreams, their desires aligned in your word, God. I pray that you bless them in their business, in their fitness, in their mindset, in their relationships, in your perfect timing. And I pray that you teach them to have patience on their journey until you bless them with these things, because we know, Lord, that in your perfect timing, everything will be given unto us. My brothers, let's get into this video. Amen. In Jesus' mighty name, let's get into this video. It's about to be a blessing, you already know, brothers. So there's 7 habits that transform my life, that continue to transform my life to this day. I understand when I make these videos, brothers, there's no scripting. It's purely from the heart. 7 habits that are going to transform your life. Number 1, my brothers, waking up early in the morning. Now, you can do the whole 4:44 wake up, which is what I've done for a very long time in my life. I woke up at 4:44 a.m. But I'm at this point now in my life where I like to wake up at 6 a.m. Why? It works, right? The rule I want you to follow here, though, guys, people are like, you have to wake up at 4 in the morning. You have to wake up at 5 in the morning, brother. The grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. One of my biggest things I teach on this channel, guys, is I want you brothers to think for yourself. I want you brothers to think for yourself. Some of you, might hear somebody say, you have to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning. And you're like, well, I have to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning. But why? Why? Why do you have to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, right? It really is down to what you want. There's principles to follow around this, though. For example, don't snooze your alarm. Plan out your next day. How you go to bed is how you're going to wake up, right? These are principles you can apply and follow. But if you're pushing yourself and waking up at 4:45 in the morning like I used to do, right? It was good at that point in my life. Again, it goes back to thinking, because my intention back then was to be disciplined, right? To build discipline, to strengthen character, to strengthen myself. So that worked well. But you brothers need to understand that, again, it really depends on your intention. So right now, my intention of waking up at 6 in the morning is because I know that it just makes me feel rejuvenated. It makes me feel fresh. It makes me feel good. I can go the whole day without needing to take a nap. Literally, guys, when I used to wake up at 4:44 in the morning, I would have to take a nap. I would have to slow down in the middle of the day. I don't want to do that. So when I wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning, I just feel more fresh. I feel more aligned. And it's my natural wake-up time. But the point I want you to remind you of, guys, there's certain principles. So plan out your next day the night before, number 1. Number 2 is don't go on your phone in the morning, guys. Do not go on your phone in the morning. I got 3 phones. I got my business phone, I got my personal phone, I got my wake-up phone. My wake-up phone has everything I need on it for the morning. Meditations, binaural beats, for example, my vision, etc. So I don't need to go on my other phones. Plan the night before, and how you go to bed is how you're going to wake up. These are principles I want you to follow. You might even wake up at 8 in the morning. I do believe, though, that, there's certain things you can look at as well, like waking up in the morning, for example. Like, I'm sure as I get older and I have a family and I have my kids and my wife, I'm sure those points in my life I will get up earlier. Why? Because I'll need to have those extra hours in the morning before the kids get up and start terrorizing me. So I'm going to need to have that dialed in, right? But at this point in my life, I'm in a flow. I'm in Thailand right now. The way my day flows is very different. It's very, just kind of a flow. So I like to wake up in the morning. I start my day very slow. I do my number one workout. After I work out, I study. After I study, obviously I'm going to meditate and pray. After I've done that, I make content. Then I go into my deep work blocks. So I'm in a very, very good flow at the moment. On top of that, I then do my second workout around 1 in the afternoon. So it works perfectly for me, guys. So principle I'm trying to get across here, guys, is don't worry too much about the wake up time. See which one works for you, right? See which wake up time works best for you, but follow the principles surrounding that. Plan your day the night before. Don't wake up and go on your phone. Have a second phone. And how you start your day starts the night before. These are the principles I would say following around that. There is magic in waking up early, though. I do have to say that. Like the 6 a.m. wake up, for me, it's a good wake up time, So I think 6 a.m. or earlier is the best time to wake up. Now, brothers, let me just say this to you guys, Information is not relevant. Like, you can watch this video and hear what I'm saying to you, but at the end of the day, it doesn't mean shit if you don't apply it, right? If you hear me say about the morning routine, the wake up routine, going to bed on time, not going on your phone, all of these things, right? If you're not applying it, it's irrelevant, bro. So if you're serious about this stuff, go and join brotherhood.co right now. Start your trial. I break all of my principles, all of my frameworks down in there, in courses, video, teachings, frameworks, everything. I give you the game plan. There's also something in there called the Discipline 30, which includes all of these habits I'm going to talk about today. It's free, my bro. You got nothing to lose. Next up, habit number 2, right? Habit number 2 is praying, meditation, and visualization. Brothers, I love to come up with my own frameworks in life, and this is one of the things I've came up with today, actually, this morning. I've always prayed, I've always meditated, I've always visualized. I think I'm going to call this the PMV framework or something like that. But understand these differences, guys, Praying is speaking to God. Meditation is listening to God. Visualization, I believe, is seeing what God is giving you. It's like people talk about faith, right? Have faith. I'm like, faith in what? Faith in what? If you don't have a vision, right? Without a vision, the people will perish. If you don't have a vision for what you're moving towards, then how can you have faith, right? When you combine praying, meditation, and visualization together, I believe this is one of the most powerful ways to speak and connect with God and have faith in God, right? Because if you don't have praying, you're not speaking to God. If you don't have meditation, you can't hear what he's saying to you. And if you don't have visualization, you can't see what he's trying to bless you with. So, this is how I want you to combine this all into one, The morning routine, in your morning and in your evening, guys. Because understand as well, how you go to bed. Remember this quote. Sleep is the gateway to your subconscious mind. Let me repeat that one. Sleep is the gateway to your subconscious mind, brother. What you are impressing into your subconscious mind before you go to bed is going to determine what is literally marinating, what is circulating in your subconscious mind as you are sleeping. As you drift off to sleep, whatever your last thoughts are about is what is going to play out in your subconscious mind. And you guys know, if you've been watching my content, the subconscious mind is creating your reality. I'm not going to dive into that too much right now, but just understand your subconscious mind is creating your reality. Your subconscious mind is driving your actions, right? It's driving your feelings. It's driving your thoughts. If you do not understand the power of the subconscious mind and how to control this, brother, you're never going to reach your full potential. Simple as that. So when you visualize, when you meditate, when you pray, again, there's certain techniques I can share with you on how to do this, right? Join brotherhood.co. We cover it all in there, man. When you learn how to visualize, when you learn how to pray, when you learn how to meditate correctly, you're going to literally be able to bend your reality. You're going to be able to bend reality to your will. There are very powerful techniques that I can share with you that are truly going to take your thoughts and allow you to put them out to God, right? And literally bend reality. I can't explain it to any other way. You guys need to understand that praying, meditation, visualization is the most powerful thing you can do to transform your life. The most powerful thing you can do to transform your life. Matthew chapter 6 verses 5 to 6, right? When you pray, go into your room. This could be a good thumbnail right now. I think we'll use this as the thumbnail. Go into your inner room, close your door, and pray to your Father who is in secret. And your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. Brothers, you guys are out here trying to figure out the how-to. You're trying to force your way towards your goals. You're trying to figure it all out externally. But I know you guys are not reaching your full potential because you don't work with the unseen. You don't work with the within. You don't work with God. You don't sit in silence and pray and listen. When you start to do this, my brothers, when you truly start to go within, I need to make sure this is recording. Because I always get paranoid that it might stop recording. And then if this fire isn't getting recorded, we're going to have to do it again. But brothers, you got to understand, that your reality is being shaped by your internal world, man. How you feel, how you think. And you need to understand that your fears, right? This is the big one, brothers. What you fear is what you're going to draw to you. What you fear is what you're going to attract, right? If you are not going within and facing this head on, brother, you're never going to reach your full potential. I was listening to a sermon today, right? And it was called The Believer's War Room. I was like, that's beautiful, man. Going within, entering into prayer, meditation, visualization is literally going in to a war room. Because guys, you got to understand as well, brothers, you got to understand, this is a spiritual world, man. This is a spiritual world. This is why so many people are losing and not reaching their full potential, why they're not operating from their best self, because they're being attacked by the spirits that are not for them, the devil, the enemy, right? And they wonder why they don't feel good. They wonder why they're not reaching their full potential. Brother, I was there for the longest time, even when I was achieving external possessions, materialistic gains, right? I thought I was winning, but something within me, there was like this void within me, brother. You understand? And I was like, why? What is going on? I had to seek God, bro. I had to seek Jesus Christ. When I started to truly seek God, seek first his kingdom, when I started to do that, that's when my life started to really make a transformation. And I'm not talking about externally, bro. I'm not talking about all this stuff. This stuff here, living in Thailand, having nice stuff, money, whatever, it doesn't mean anything, bro. Real talk. It's a bonus. It's a bonus. Before, when I used to go after these external things, it was done from this place of force, from needing, from pushing. But ultimately, the foundation I was building it on was insecurity, was lack, was scarcity. And it didn't matter how much money I made. It didn't matter how many things I attained externally. There was always this feeling within me, I'm not enough. I didn't feel good. And I could always do more and do more and do more. But when I would be sitting there in my bedroom at night, for example, or when I would have those quiet moments where I couldn't escape to my phone, to friends, to people, whatever, when I'd be sitting there, that's when the feelings would creep in. And here's the truth, guys. Those feelings still creep in today. But you know what I do? I enter into the war room with God and Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit, and I overcome them. And I pray my way through that. I meditate my way through that. I visualize my way through that. This is how I overcame every vice in my life, every adversity, every setback, every weapon that was trying to be formed against me. I was able to overcome that all in God's grace because I was able to go in, enter into the unseen, right? And pray and face these battles that were going on within myself. Guys, you have these battles going on, right? You have these challenges. You think it's a money problem. You think it's a business problem. You think it's a fitness problem. You think it's a mindset problem. You think it's all of these things. No, brother. These are amazing. And we teach this in Brotherhood. There's 5 areas of mastery we focus on: mental, physical, financial, spiritual, and emotional. You need all 5 of those, bro. But understand, yeah, if you are building your fitness and your business and all of these things, and you're not seeming to get the results that you want, or you're getting the results that you want, but it's not giving you that true feeling you're looking for, bro, it's because you're not working on the internal. You're not building a relationship with God. Okay? And that's why you feel lost. That's why no matter how much money you make, no matter how many things you gain, no matter how many things you get externally, like I said, the fitness, the mindset, the business, it doesn't truly fulfill you because you don't have a relationship with God. And this is coming from somebody, guys. I've made $1 million online. I built my dream physique. I got to 100 kg, 10% body fat, right? Right now we're sitting at 93 kg, 10% body fat. I was able to travel the world. I was able to do all of these things that I dreamed of, yeah? There was still something missing. I could never identify it. I thought, you know what? It's got to be more money, right? Nah, bro. More money didn't solve it. It's got to be my physique. More building my physique didn't solve it. It's got to be meditations and strengthening my mindset, right? Didn't fix it. I was doing it from this place of lack. You know, it was always like filling a void. When I just surrendered to God and I was like, God, I surrender to you. That's when everything changed. So, number 2 is meditation, visualization, and praying. Again, if you want to know more about this, just join Brotherhood, bro. Hit the link below and join. 3rd habit. Listen, brother. Listen, brother. No man ever said, I want to be skinny. I want to be fat. I want to be out of shape. I don't want to be healthy. No man ever said that. In fact, let me rebuke even saying that out loud. Cancel what I just said. I'm not even going to let that enter my mind in any way, shape, or form, bro. No man ever chose to be less in the physical department, bro. No man ever wants to look or feel worse. They want to feel good. They want to look good. If you ask any man, do you want 6-pack? Do you want to build muscle? They're going to say, yeah, man. Like, if you could click your fingers and have that, would you have it? Yeah. So that means every single man that says they want that but does not have that, they're lying to themselves. Why? Because they don't want to do the work. They don't want to put in the fucking grind. They don't want to hit the gym. They don't want to track their macros, which is a prerequisite to achieving the goal. Right? I would say to you guys, one of the most challenging things you can do as a man, yeah? Not the, but one of the most challenging things is to, it as an overall thing, is to resist desire, yeah? There's many desires men have, yeah? One of the big ones is food. Food, bro. It's the easiest way to be a bitch because you're just like, I feel like eating this, so let me eat it. Bro, it lasts maybe 2-3 minutes, however long you take to eat the food, yeah? And then after that, you've gained excess calories, right? You've put on weight. You've impacted your health. You're going to feel less energy. So all round, it's a pretty much lose-lose situation for a short-term gratification. When I was a young man, I really programmed into my mind that food is fuel. I programmed that into my mind. So now, when I go to a restaurant, for example, it's just so simple what I order, what I eat. But it not only is it so easy for me and does it bring me peace of mind, but it's just so many benefits. You know what I'm saying to you? It's just so many benefits from doing that. It's like I go to the restaurant and I see all these guys eating all these different meals, right? All these complicated foods, bro, like whatever it might be. And it's like, bro, at the end of the day, once you've eaten it, it's gone. Like getting pizza, burgers, bro, why? Why, bro? Think about it. Food is fuel. Food is fuel to build your body, number one. Number two is to give you energy. Number three is to give you power, right? So if you're just going to go and eat food for pleasure, bro, you are weakening yourself, man. And that desire is going to lead to other desires, bro. Not to mention all of the biological side of it, how it's going to impact your health, your energy levels, the sugar, all of this stuff. I'm not going to get into that. I don't even know about all that. I just eat clean, bro. Keep it simple. But listen, eating clean is going to be one of the biggest habits you can form as a man, right? And then adding on to that, bro, is working out. Now, working out, yeah, again, when we're talking about as a man, even if you're training and you're a boxer, for example, right? You're training and you're doing MMA. You're training and you're doing some kind of sport, whatever. Arguably, if you are a man, okay, and you're trying to get respect, you're trying to build something, how you appear, people are going to make assumptions. So even if you are the best boxer in the world, but I see you and I don't truly know what you do or who you are, if you don't have that physique, bro, you don't have that powerful aura about you, you're not going to have the same impact. So I want you guys to think of it, yeah? It's very simple. Build a physique that commands respect from yourself, that commands love from yourself, okay? And eat foods that are clean, that are going to complement that physique. Once you get those two dialed in, yeah, then you can do the other stuff, right? I train in boxing, but I still work out to build an aesthetic physique, and I still eat super clean, so my goals are aligned. Brothers, you got to look at it like that. Again, think about it, bro. You're not doing it just for the physique and the way you look and how you appear. It's going to be the journey of that. It's going to be the process of that, of building that physique, building that man of character, sticking to your word. You want to get to this point, guys. I'm telling you right now, yeah. You go to the restaurant, for example, you're ordering the food, you have eliminated decision fatigue with your diet, with your foods that you eat. You don't have to think about it. I go to the restaurant yesterday, I'm just like, let me get double chicken, double rice. I know how many grams of chicken there are, how many grams of rice there are. I know that's going to hit my protein intake for the day. I know that's going to hit my carb intake for the day. Happy days, man. Simple, right? When I go to the restaurant in the evening, I go in there, give me the 500 gram of steak, give me 2 portions of rice. Simple. When I used to go there, bro, and I'd be like, let me get the steak. You know what? Let me get the French fries as well, bro. It would just lead to other desires, man. I'm telling you. Because you desire the French fries. So you're like, I desire going on social media. I desire the ice cream. It just leads into other vices. Keep it simple, my bro. Again, we cover all of this in Brotherhood. I give you the full workout plan, the nutrition guide, all of that stuff there. Now, moving on. So we've covered the early wake-up time, all right, and the evening and morning routine. We've covered meditation, praying, and visualization. Again, I'm not going to dive into it because I'm going to go off on a rabbit hole again. Number 3 is working out and eating a clean diet. Number 4, okay, is going to be studying. Now, I have been studying the Bible for the past 3 months, and that's been my main focus. But in the past, I would study, and I'm still going to be doing this now, right? Skill sets, right? Learning about marketing, learning about sales, learning about branding, okay? And also learning from other mindset areas or other topics that are going to improve my life, yeah? So I've also been learning from Neville Goddard, who's a great mentor of mine. I might listen to Ed Milet, another great mentor of mine. But again, the main focus here, guys, is you are sharpening your mind. You are consuming information that's going to allow you to progress, allow you to grow. For example, here are my study notes from this morning, right? And I was studying a sermon. I think that's what you call it. And, you know, we mentioned this Bible verse earlier. When you pray, go into your inner room, close your door, and pray to your Father who is in secret, and your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. Now, some big takeaways from the study session this morning, right? And again, brothers, just think about this. How much these little pointers here are going to transform your life. Develop an intimate relationship with God. Be alone with Almighty God. Like, come on, guys. That one hit me. Another thing I took away, God will never fail you. Another takeaway, the most important relationship is with God the Father. Only Almighty God has the answers to your biggest challenges. That one hit me the most, right? A lot of the time, what I used to do is I would go and speak to friends or people about my problems or my challenges. And they can give you advice, right? They can say, oh yeah, I think you should do that, or I think you should do this. But you even intuitively know that's not the answer I'm looking for. Only God can give that to you. Spending time in the meditation, spending time in the unseen, spending time within, all right? So studying, guys, I highly recommend you learn skill sets and you learn mindset. Now, like I said, for me right now, it's the Bible, okay? And I highly recommend you study the Bible. But I also learn from other areas. Guys, there is no way I would be at the level I'm at in my life right now, have made the money I have the physique I have the lifestyle that I have, if I did not study. I studied, bro. Truly, studying is something that just keeps your mind sharp. It expands your mind to what is possible. It shows you what's possible. It gets you thinking. It gets you operating very differently than if you're just to operate from your current worldviews, your current belief system, your current way of thinking about stuff. So, guys, I mean, look, let me just keep it real with you. I've made a lot of money online, right, for my businesses. There's no way I could have done that if I had not have studied about marketing, if I had not have studied about sales. There's no way. From putting in those reps, it taught me so much. It allowed me to learn so much about these things, which then allowed me to make the money. Do you see what I'm saying to you? So studying should be a daily thing. I studied this morning for around 30 minutes. And I'll study, there's a very big difference, though, guys, about passively listening to a podcast as you walk down the beach versus actually sitting down, taking notes and thinking about it. So that's going to be habit number 3. Okay, so we got the wake up time, we got the meditation and visualization, we got the working out, we got the studying. So that's habit number 4. Habit number 5 is going to be deep work. Now, when I'm talking about deep work, right, guys, again, there's a difference between sitting down and working, yeah, and sitting down and actually being locked in, 0 distractions, clear outcomes, clear focus, clear plan, and working on that task until completion. Very, very different. So deep work is going to be focused on those big projects, those big tasks that you know are going to elevate you in your life. Mainly, it's going to be focused on your business, your purpose, your mission, right? Okay, the table is shaking like crazy right now. But deep work, guys, is going to yield you the biggest results when it comes to achieving specific goals in your life. You could do deep work, for example, when it comes to studying. You could do deep work when it comes to your business. You could do deep work like I'm doing right now, filming this video, right? But deep work, I can't remember what the studies are, but basically, if you do focus work, bro, like you can achieve so much more in a little amount of time than if you're doing shallow work. These guys, bro, that claim they're working, claim they're hustling, but they'll be sitting on Instagram whilst they're working. Bro, you're just depleting your energy, your focus, and your output. If you lock in with a clear task and just focus, yeah, you're going to win. Other things to add on to deep work is this, right? If you wake up and go on your phone, you fried your brain, my guy. You need to understand how dopamine levels work as well. If you wake up and go on your phone, you're playing catch up all day. You're constantly trying to get that dopamine again and again and again. So you want to wake up in peace. You want to wake up with clarity. You want to wake up with focus. Have the tasks at hand to get completed. Execute upon them. And then you're winning. So deep work is another massive habit that's going to transform your life. Imagine if you combine these 5 habits. You wake up at 6 a.m. You meditate, you pray, you visualize, you connect to God, right? You study, you elevate your mindset, your skill sets and things like that. You work out, right? You build your physique. You're going to eat clean, probably not in the morning, right? Now, when it comes to working out, guys, at the moment I'm doing 2 workouts a day. Morning is cardio and stretching and abs. And then in the afternoon, today I'm going to be training boxing. And I'll alternate between boxing and weight training. That's my workout split. And it works very well. And then number 5 is you're doing deep work. You're building your business. You're building whatever it might be. Bro, how can you not win? How can you not win? Now, the next 2, very simple habits, right? The two that I've actually put into my life recently, I didn't used to do them too much. Planning and reflection. Okay, now let me break those two down. The more you plan, there's a great quote: effective performance is preceded by painstaking preparation. Let me repeat that. Effective performance is preceded by painstaking preparation. If you're not planning effectively, your execution is going to be weak. The more you can plan, just give it a go, guys, yeah? Plan a day where you're just like, write out your outcomes, like gym, workout, deep work, whatever, right? Whatever the actions would be. And then plan out your day with time frames. Watch how much more you'll get done if you have time frames to execute on. I promise you, urgency and the urgency around that is going to make you execute at such a higher level than if you're just like random outcomes. So you must plan and you must reflect. Now, reflection is very simple. There's 3 questions you want to ask yourself. What went well today? Okay. What went better today? And how can I improve tomorrow? These are 3 simple questions you can ask. Remember as well, guys, questions open the mind and statements close the mind. Most people just sit there all day telling themselves statements. This didn't work. Why am I here? Whatever it might be, right? That was a question, but you get my point. The more you can ask empowering questions, the more of an empowering life you're going to live. And that's really it, guys. Those are the 7 habits that changed my life. Waking up early, working out and building a strong physique, eating a clean diet aligned with my macros and my goals. Again, you need to know how to do these things, guys. You need to understand your macros, because if you don't understand your macros and if you should be cutting or bulking, you're just guessing, bro. You're guessing. We cover this in Brotherhood. You pray to God, you meditate, you visualize, you're studying, you're doing deep work, you're planning, you're reflecting. Bro, I guarantee you're going to win. How can you not win? When all of these other guys out here are waking up, scrolling Instagram, watching porn, eating shit food, not planning their days, not reflecting, not studying, not doing deep work, not working out, not eating clean, not eating their macros. Bro, the competition is non-existent out here. It's non-existent. So brother, lock in, transform your life. If you want to transform your life the most, join brotherhood.co. Other than that, my brothers, God bless and no sacking.